Hello everybody, it's Mr. Buzz again. How are you doing today? I hope everybody had a fun time last week, and I hope you've had a lot of fun so far this week. And since this is the last week of Camp Challenge, I'm going to talk a little bit about some safety tips for the summer. For the playground, your bike, roller skates, skateboards, your favorite swimming hole, and we're even going to talk about the pesky bugs. So we're going to talk about the playground safety. Playgrounds can be a lot of fun, but you can still get hurt. And every year a lot of kids are taken to the hospital every day because they seriously get hurt at a playground. And some of the safety tips we have we want to make sure that we're being watched by somebody that's taking care of us. Preferably a grown-up. And we want to dress right so that we don't get sunburned, bit by bugs, and get hurt on things, or let our clothes hurt us. So we don't want to be wearing a lot of jewelry hanging around, piercings. We don't want to be carrying, for the young ladies out there, you don't want to be carrying your purse while you're playing on the swings. And we want to make sure that we're not wearing big and baggy clothes. We want clothes that fit us comfortable. If your clothes are baggy and you're sliding down the slide, you could get hooked and then you could be hanging there, just same as if the monkey bars or the swings. And it could hurt you. So we want to make sure that we're using our clothing to help us, not to hurt us. We also want to make sure we're using the proper sized equipment for the size that we are. So we don't want a little guy trying to ride, jump clear up on the monkey bars and jump off that are 6 feet or more. We want to use the right size play stuff for the right size kid. We want to make sure we're using right. We don't want to be jumping from swings or hanging upside down off of monkey bars or even jumping from the top of them or trying to climb up the slide and jumping from the ladder down. We want to do it the opposite way. We want to climb up that ladder, slide down the slides, and we don't want to be jumping off of swings. That's how we break our legs and arms. And a good rule of thumb, before you get on that playground equipment, touch it with the back of your hand like we did in the fire safety, so that we'll know whether it's too hot or not. Because these hot summer days, they can really make that equipment hot. And we also want to look and make sure that we don't have any wood laying around that's going to give us splinters. We want to make sure that the chains are good and they're not rusty before we get on there and start swinging. And we want to make sure that we're, besides being dressed good, making sure the equipment's safe, we also want to make sure that we're wearing some sunscreen so we don't get burnt. A good recommendation for out on the play set is an SPF 30. And we also don't want to overdo it so we get heat exhaustion. Take breaks, drink plenty of water. And if you see garbage laying around the play set, don't pick it up. Don't touch it. Get an adult to take care of it. We definitely don't want to be picking up any needles or any knives, or if you see any guns, make sure you tell an adult and leave so that they can take care of it and call the police. And we don't want to be talking to strangers. Talking to strangers can be a good way to meet new friends, and can also be a way to meet bad people. But remember, don't talk to strangers. Remember, stranger danger. But also remember, the firemen, the policemen, and the EMTs, they're your friends. They're not there to hurt you. And most importantly, have fun by being safe. Being safe is by being cool. Now let's talk about our skateboards and our roller skates and our bikes, or anything you got with wheels on it. We want to make sure that these things are safe for us. We always want to be wearing helmets. A good bike helmet has straps, has a cushion inside, a good hard plastic outside. We want to prevent this so that when we fall off the bike, which we will when we learn, we don't want to get any serious brain injuries. And our roller skates and our skateboards, we always want to make sure that we are wearing knee pads and elbow pads. We want to protect those bony parts when we fall. Because all the great skaters, they have all taken their falls learning how to do it and do it well. We want to make sure our equipment's good. Make sure the wheels are good on it. Make sure they're clean, not full of gravel and stones. And it's the same with our bicycles. We want to make sure that the tires have plenty of air in them. And the spokes on the bike are good. And the seat is set, and we have good reflectors on it. On the wheels, behind the bike, the front of the bike, so that we can be seen. We want to make sure that we're wearing bright, reflective clothing so that motorists can see us. And we also want to make sure that our helmet fits good and that our clothes is fitting right. And we also want to make sure that the bike fits us. Now, I'm no artist, but you can see my little stick man in blue there with his bike. When he is in this position and he's straddled on the bike, we want to make sure that the upper bar for the bike, right here, is 1 to 2 inches from his body. That's how you know that you have a good fit for your bike. Now, once we get on the bike and we're riding, we want to ride in the same direction as traffic. We want to follow the same rules as the motorist. And when we go to cross, we're always going to cross at crosswalks. Never cut between cars or trees, because they may not see you. And you want to stop, and you want to look both ways. And you want to listen at the same time that you're looking. You want to look left first, then look right, then look left again. And then it is safe for you to go. Now with railroads, we want to cross only at the railroad crossings. Doing the same thing. Looking left, looking right, looking left again before we go. And we want to make sure that we do not ride on the train tracks. If you see that the bells are ringing and the lights are flashing and the gates are coming down, stop. Get back away from the train tracks. Don't try to outrun it. If something happens, that train can't stop for you. So let's talk about some water fun. Water-related activities are a popular physical activity this time of year. They have many health benefits, but they can also be very dangerous. So here are some tips for you to make sure that you're safe while having fun. Before you get in the water, you want to make sure that it's clean. And if the water's clear and you can see the bottom, that's whether you're in your creek, a local swimming hole, the local swimming pool, or just a big mud puddle you play in. You want to make sure that it's clear and clean. If you see green algae growing on it, anything green is not good. Anything black is not good. And if you got a lot of bugs and that floating on the top of it, you want to stay away from that water. Because it's not clean and it's going to have germs. You always want to make sure that you have an adult who can help you if you get into trouble. Especially if you can't swim yet, you want to make sure that you're with an adult that can swim. And you never want to get in the water if you have an open cut or sore, unless you completely cover it with a watertight bandage. You want to make sure that that stays covered the entire time you're in the pool. Now, we never want to pee or poop in the water, and we definitely don't want to get we don't want to drink the water. We don't want to put it in our mouth. And a very good rule of thumb is when you're done, you want to get out of the water, take a quick 1-minute shower to rinse everything off of you. And that's good before you get in the water as well. Now when I was talking about the mosquitoes love to be around that water that doesn't go anywhere. So if it's green and got bugs on it, chances are there's mosquitoes there. So now we're going to talk about staying safe around bugs. Mosquitoes, ticks, bees. You can have allergic reactions to them biting you, and they can give to you or transmit to you diseases. So here are some tips for you to stay safe around the bugs, hopefully avoiding the bugs. If you don't know the area that you're in, be extremely careful. If you're around tall grass, high weeds, out near a little wooded area or around creeks and streams, you want to make sure that you're very careful around them. If you don't know what it is, leave it alone. And you should dress appropriately for going to these areas, with long pants, long sleeved shirts, and spray yourself with, having a grown-up spray you with insect repellent, you and your clothes, and any gear that you are taking with you. And if you happen to see a beehive or a bee's nest, don't throw stones at it or poke it with sticks. Because that might be one thing that you don't want to try to outrun. So, if you don't know what it is, leave it alone. And remember, stay safe and have fun. It is very cool to be safe. So everybody have a safe and happy summer. Enjoy. And if you would, remember to leave a comment. And if you have any questions, please feel free to type them and we will get you an answer. Thank you very much and have a happy summer.